Hi everybody, Vanessa from Envision here. Welcome to our May webinar. We're just going to start in a few minutes time. We're going to let a few more folks join and we'll get started in literally 2 or 3 minutes. Thank you. A few more folks join. Hi everybody. And welcome to our May webinar. It's great to have you with us on a different day today, on a Tuesday rather than a Thursday. We have a public holiday here in the Netherlands on Thursday, so thank you for being accommodating. And for those watching on catch up, thank you for that too. So I'm going to just take us through the program. And today's webinar has got a special Global Accessibility Awareness Day special. Of course, every day is Accessibility Awareness Day at Envision, but we actually have made this special in honor of the day that was earlier this month. And we'll be talking specifically with an expert on accessing AT funding and some great training that's out there and available, which is great. We'll also be getting under the hood with Karthik and be ready for your questions as well, which we always love to answer as many of those as we can. So if Kartik, if you could just skip to the second slide, I think that would be great. I'm going to I have great pleasure today to be talking with Neeraj from the Vista Center for the blind in and visually impaired from California. And I'll talk a little bit about that. But he's joining us fresh off a cruise, so very relaxed and ready to share, which is lovely. And the housekeeping for today, as ever, we are recording this. It's actually live up on YouTube now, and we will be sharing this on our socials and in our newsletter and on our community channels as well. So feel free to pass those on to others who might find it useful as well. We also will be taking questions and answers at the end, and you can ask your questions in two ways. If you're joining us on Zoom, you can raise your hand and you can then ask your question live to Kartik, and he's controlling the mute button, so he'll let you speak and you can ask your questions away. You can also just put your question, type it into the Q&A section that's on Zoom as well, and I'll do my best to answer those. And certainly we'll answer as many of those live as well on air for everybody else's sake as well. And if you're on YouTube and watching this, again, you can just use the chat function. I'll pop in there later and introduce myself as well. So a few shortcuts again. If you want to ask your question live and you want to raise your hand, please do that. And to unmute yourself on your laptop is for Windows, it's Alt plus A. If you're on a Mac, it's Command plus Shift plus A. And for Zoom as well, if you want to, let me just check I'm getting this right. So raise your hand. On Mac, it's Option plus Y, and on Windows, it's Alt plus Y. Anyway, hope you remember that. So without further ado, I'm absolutely thrilled to come on to our interview today and to meet Naresh Gupta. And Naresh, welcome. Maybe if you want to join us, there's your camera. Brilliant. Good to see you, Naresh.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for having me today. Hope everybody's doing well. As Vanessa said, I just got off a cruise with my wife, so I'm still feeling as if the house is rocking back and forth. So if anybody's ever been on one, so yeah. So thanks
Well,
for having me
welcome.
today, Vanessa. Enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super. Well, lovely, lovely to actually be doing a webinar. We talked a month ago or so about this and caught up in between. So here we are live. And just for context, maybe it would be great to explain a little bit about your role, Neerash, at the Vista Centre and also what the Vista Centre does, right? Because blind and low vision organizations all have their own flavor. And we know the Vista Center very well as Envision because we had a demo day for Ally not that long ago, which was a huge success and very, very
That's
busy.
true.
I think everybody was quite tired afterwards.
Yeah.
But we've also been working together over the years, of course, with rehabilitation
Sure.
tools and aids with the glasses, of course. But please tell us a little bit about you and Vista Center.
Yeah, sure. No, thank you. So a little bit about my background, actually. In my early 20s, I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa. So for those of you who don't know what that is, it's kind of progressive vision loss over the years. And, it was my early 20s, that's when I started to experiencing hard time seeing at night, so I adapted by using a flashlight. Then in my mid 20s, I started to, have a hard time driving on the road, and started to use ride shares. And then, when I went back to grad school, wanted to complete my MBA, and as I was doing that, I realized I'm getting harder and harder to see as we go. That's when we keep adapting as we go, like, what's out there, inverted colors or high contrast colors, that type of thing. I worked for about 7 years in operations and finance, and as I started to lose my vision more, where I couldn't recognize people, didn't feel safe navigating the streets, or even just like using my computer, I found Vista Center. And, I joined Vista Center first as a client, very thankful to them. Vista Center, we're located in the San Francisco Bay Area, and we're headquartered specifically in Palo Alto, California, with branches in San Jose and Santa Cruz. We serve about 3,700 clients, and I was one of them. I was super appreciative of them. I learned a lot in terms of technology, and that's what we're here for today. I learned Vista Center taught me how to use voiceover on my phone. I got to learn how to use JAWS screen reader on my computer, and that's how I'm able to continue my work today. I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm sure as some of you probably know, I'm faster with my eyes closed using my computer than when I had full vision. So even though people might think I'm sleeping and closing my eyes, I'm not really. My boss knows I'm still awake and working. So, um, but very appreciative of assistive technology. And then I ended up coming on to the staff at Vista Center, became on the leadership team. And now my role at Vista Center is I'm the Associate Director of Corporate and Community Relations. And what that means is, we get the chance to partner with great companies like Envision, learn their products, get to tell our clients about it, and even demo it. So like Vanessa said, we had a very successful demo day not too long ago at Vista Center in our San Jose branch, where we had quite a few people show up, get to learn from the team at Envision what the three different products are, how to use it, how to demo it, and they were. I can tell you very frankly, everyone was super excited about it and continue to use it today. So,
Oh,
and then I even got the chance to meet Vanessa, all of you, just not too long, a couple years ago, to demo the first Envision glasses, and I remember that the news channel was there to even put it on the
oh,
TV
that's of
to have
course it
Envision
was.
glasses.
Yes. That was
Yeah, so,
that was amazing. And there you were up on, or you were
yeah,
syndicated.
I know,
You were
right?
everywhere. You were on like all these news channels. And for those who don't
No,
live in the US or know what syndication is, it's just basically the local broadcaster or the branch of the main broad. It was ABC, I think, if I'm right. I'm not sure. They,
that's correct. Yeah,
put it in a central file and it gets fired out across all the other networks in the other states and other cities and stuff. And it was wonderful. I suddenly was getting my alerts were pinging like crazy that we had this coverage. Yes, and there you were in full size on
exactly.
the computer and
I know,
TV.
right? Practicing with the Envision glasses. It was so
Yes,
cool because I remember my colleague demoed it and I was able to kind of walk down the hall in one of our branches. And it's all thanks to Envision for making that happen. So
that's so
thank you.
cool. Brilliant. And what
Yeah.
does an average day look like or sound like or feel like for you then when you're at the Vista Center near? What kind of things are
Sure.
you dealing with there?
Yeah, so well, me personally, I mean, my day starts off with, when I wake up and I get to work, I'm able to use assistive technology just to even get me to work, whether it be
Yeah,
using a voiceover call my Uber, or recently, by the way, we got to learn how to use a Waymo too, which was kind of cool, driverless cars. And
insane, right?
yeah, so this assistive technology is just amazing. And then when I get to work, we have clients are all around. They could be engaged in any of our programs that we offer, and specifically on assistive technology, our clients get to learn, at some of the things that I mentioned before, whether it be voiceover technology, the latest in AI that Envision is, working with, that type of thing. So constantly, there's a lot of programs and services within work, and then on the back end, we're constantly, because we're a nonprofit too, we're fundraising, we're applying for grants and that type of thing. We're creating events, and even Envision, you guys all got to participate in our Site Tech Global event at the end of the year. So that's
Yeah.
a great another
A
platform.
great
So
event. I mean, it's crazy, right? Companies like us as well. We're not events companies, but we do events because it's important that we all can physically meet up as well, right? It's
Exactly.
great doing all this
Yeah.
stuff online, but there's nothing quite like meeting in person. Um,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And I know there's a lot of work you do around, you mentioned the training that you do, but also around funding or
Mhm.
accessing funds and
Right.
accommodations. How does that work for you in your state there and for those of us not in the US? How does that sort of work?
Sure. So actually, one of our biggest missions is that we make sure we don't refuse service to anyone. So anyone who
Yeah.
cannot afford to learn what we offer, we make sure we on the back end raise money, whether that be through events or fundraising or applying for grants or donations. And then when a client comes to us, the cool part is they're paired with our assistive tech specialist, and everything's personalized, right? Like as anyone would know, vision loss is completely different for everybody. There's different stages. So, when our assistive tech specialists meet a client, the client gets to tell them where are they in their life, what do they want to learn. So I know with my personal experience, when I was learning how to use a screen reader, I said, I really need to still learn how to use Excel, for example, so I can still manage some
Hmm.
of the day-to-day operations, or even navigate the web just to do some basic research. And then as time grows, I got the chance to work with our assistive tech specialist to continue my personalized path and journey to make sure everything fits as to what I need for
Mm,
yeah.
mm. So it's continuous, right? It's a regular thing. You can't just go in once and then leave it. It's like
That's
as it
correct. Yeah.
changes. As a fellow RPer here, I can concur to
Yeah.
that. I'm still zooming everything out. As I would say, my cursor is the size of a real mouse on my screen right now.
Oh.
Still couldn't find it earlier. Um,
Yeah.
but it's wonderful to hear that. And all the different kind of pockets of funding and raising that. We know that, the Lions Club, Rotary, as well as,
Right.
government, state agencies, there's all sorts of, finding that funding is literally a full-time job, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And we even just hired a new chief development officer just for this very reason, because we want to make sure that we can still provide the services to our clients. And it's just that magical feeling when you hear that, wow, I can do it myself. So you on the back end, you get the business side of it to make sure we can continue running the nonprofit. At the same time, the front end, just watching the clients, including myself. Quick story the other day, I took a picture to in my room just to figure out where is the remote control, because I couldn't find it to turn the TV off. And it was just incredible to find it myself. I asked, okay, where is it on the couch? Okay, left, right, and then I just finally found it. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah. And I know we could talk for ages about the future of this and where it's going, because this is what we live and breathe. And,
Mhm.
I see that, I'm also fascinated about AI and accessibility, of course, and whether,
Yeah.
how the training is going to look. Even we hear what AI is changing everything on how we learn and how we
Mhm.
communicate. And so the fact that I use AI to take notes and
Yeah.
summarize things and put outlines together and so on and so forth, for
Exactly.
somebody who's not sighted, how
Right.
game changer is that, right? It's just
It's
mind-blowing,
huge.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
really is,
yeah,
and that's why I started off by telling you how I adapted earlier in my day, with whether it
yeah.
be with a flashlight or just basic settings on a computer with inverted colors. But now think with AI, my God, it's kind of like having your own set of eyes in its own way. And so
Insane,
it's
right?
really
Yeah,
cool.
it's
Yeah.
crazy. And I guess I'm kind of I just realized I'm engineered my next question. I didn't mean to, I was just having a nice chat. But where, sorry. Um, this is why Kartik normally does these interviews, right? He's much better
Oh.
at it than me. But Neeraj, where would you want the technology to go then? Let's use this 24-month time frame. There's a hell of
Sure.
a lot happening at the moment, but what
Right.
would you like to be available in 24 months? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, sure. No, I mean, I know definitely one thing I know Envision does great and works on is, like, for example, facial recognition.
Mm,
I know when I go into a new environment, even though I'm with my wife and she tells me who's who, and people come up to me and say their name as well, but it's just so cool to be able to recognize people, and I appreciate
yeah,
Envision
yeah,
being able to
absolutely.
do that.
Yeah,
And then to even go fast forward within those 24 months, I know in these days we take a picture and we can ask questions, but if it can just turn into even more so streamlined with real time feedback as you're walking in the room, that would be incredible.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I know there's a lot happening in both those areas. Probably,
Mhm.
regulation is one thing with the face
Right.
recognition that unfortunately is something we have to find a workaround and I'll
Mhm.
get shot for saying that, but that's the honest
Yeah,
truth. And I think
yeah,
the speed of it as well has to come with the accuracy and what we've seen as things accelerate and the
yeah,
hallucinations increase. So I think there's a sort of balance of making sure that the information that's given back to somebody with low or no vision is accurate and
exactly.
facing that with speed. And that can only
Yeah.
improve, right?
Exactly, definitely
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, and that's what's incredible by being able to partner with companies such as yours, so we can all work together as an ecosystem to see what's working, what's not. Is
Yeah.
it too much feedback, too less feedback? So it's great.
Yeah, exactly. I know we certainly have some very active beta tester community members who are definitely from the Bay Area. In fact, a hotbed, I would put it that
Yeah.
way. Um,
Yeah,
but super, Neeraj. I don't want to take up too much more of everyone's time on this because we could, as I say, chat for hours and everything. If
yeah,
one thing, if there was, where can people contact you and find out about the Vista Center? Where's the
sure.
best place to go for that?
Yeah, no, thank you. So our website is www.vistacenter.org. That's VISTA Center, CENTER.org. And all our contact information is there. You'll see our programs and services we offer. And then, yeah, anytime you guys want to reach out to us, we want to be.
No, that's wonderful. Thank you. And we do a monthly newsletter as well. We'll be sure to include that in that and make sure that we've got a recording of the webinar in there as well. So
That's
thank
great.
you
Yeah.
so much. Brilliant. Well,
Thank you.
stay
Thank
with
you for
us.
all you're
Please
doing.
don't go anywhere.
Yeah,
We would love to have you around for the questions and answers because there may be some for
sure.
yourself or some that you can answer better than Kartik or I, which is likely. But I'm going to say thank you very much for your time today. It's wonderful to have you with us. Thank you again. And
Great.
I'm now going to pass the proverbial floor over to Kartik, who is representing both the Kartiks today. To let us go under the hood. Kartik. I
Cool.
can't
Thanks,
hear you. Oh, yeah.
Vanessa. Thanks, Anirudh. That was pretty great and refreshing, like to hear. And your kudos to your Neeraj and Avista Center for all the great work that you have been doing. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cool. So now, for you all in the audience, I have a little bit of a demo to show you. So usually it's the other Karthik who does these things, but this time I have the like a privilege of doing it. And this time also we'll hope the demo gods are kind to us and we can do this well. So what I want to do a demo of is a sneaky a feature that we like snuck into Ally with our like last update. I don't know how many of you were able to catch it, but this is the first time we are talking about it. Basically, we introduced the ability to play a games on Ally. So with Ally, in addition to asking it for help with stuff around you, all the questions that you want to ask about, the information around you and things like that, we also want people to enjoy Ally and just also be able to like use it for fun. So we've been experimenting with a few simple games. So we have sort of introduced a game on Ally, and that's basically what I'm going to do a demo of, like right now. So you get a sense of how you can also use Ally just to play fun little games. Um, it works pretty simply. Right now, there are two games on Ally that are live. One is a trivia game where you can play a trivia with your ally, and the other one is a choose your own adventure game. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and do the trivia game. So that's the one that we will do very quickly, and you sort of can get a sense of how it feels to play with your ally. So I have my phone out in front of me. I'm gonna start talking to my ally, and you will see how you can use ally to play games.
Sure thing. Your greeting is ready.
All right, hey ally, I would like to play a trivia tech game, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and trivia titans of all ages, welcome to the grand and fabulous Trivia Showdown. Get ready to flex those brain muscles and dazzle the world with your knowledge prowess, because it's trivia time. This is the moment where stars are born, right here, right now. First things first, Karthik, tell me which tantalizing topic you'd like to tackle tonight. And, of course, select your level of difficulty, easy, medium, or hard. Challenge awaits. Choose wisely.
Cool. So I have to pick a topic and a level, and then it will go ahead and ask me a questions on the basis of that. I will do a Harry Potter as my topic, and let's go with a medium difficulty.
Fantastic choice. Get ready to dive deep into the magical world of Harry Potter with medium level questions. Let's see how well you know your spells, potions, and wizarding history. Question 1. What is the name of the tree that Harry and Ron crash their car into at the beginning of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets? A. The Whomping Willow. B. The Forbidden Tree. C. The Screeching Sycamore. D. The Thunderous Oak. What's your answer?
I think it's A, like the Whomping Willow.
That's correct. The tree they crashed into is indeed the Whomping Willow. Great start. Let's continue with the next question. Question 2. In Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, who scores the first goal in the Quidditch World Cup? A. Victor Crumb. B. Lucius Malfoy. C. Troy. D. Lynch. What's your answer?
Wow, this is a difficult one. I know it's not Victor Crumb, or is it Victor Crumb? Oh, because he loses. I will go with A, Victor Crumb.
Actually, Victor Crumb is not correct in this case. A first goal in the Quidditch World Cup is scored by Troy. It was a tough question indeed. Let's move on to the next one. Question 3. What magical creature is featured in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban that Harry practices riding during his lessons with Professor Lupin? A. Phoenix. B. Hippogriff. C. Thestral. D. Dragon. What's your answer?
This one I know. This is a B, Hippogriff.
You're right on target. It is indeed the Hippogriff, specifically Buckbeak, that Harry learns to ride in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Nice job. Ready for another question? Just let me know.
Yes.
Great. Here's your next question. Question 4. In Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, what potion does Professor Slughorn ask his students to brew on the first day of class? A. Elixir to induce euphoria. B. Felix Felicis, liquid luck. C. Amortentia, love potion. D. Polyjuice potion. What's your answer?
I think, I'm not too sure, but I think it's Felix Felicis, the one that brings you luck.
Correct. Professor Slughorn asks his students to brew Felix Felicis, also known as liquid luck, on their first day of class. Nice work. Would you like to answer another question? Or do you have something else in mind?
No, I think let's go for the final our question.
Absolutely. Go ahead and ask your question, whether it's about Harry Potter, trivia, or anything else you have in mind.
No, I thought you were gonna ask me the final question of the trivia.
Got it. Here's your final question for the trivia. Question 5. In Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which vault number at Gringotts Bank contains the Philosopher's Stone? A. 487, B. 713, C. 687, D. 999. What's your answer?
Wow, okay, this one is like a really difficult. I have no idea. So I'm just gonna take a wild guess, and I'm gonna go with option C.
Good guess, but the correct answer is actually B, 713. That's the vault where the Philosopher's Stone was hidden at Gringotts Bank. You did a great job with these questions, and I hope you had fun. If you have any more questions or want to try another trivia round, just let me know.
Hey, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much. What's the other a game that I can play with you?
You're very welcome. Aside from trivia, you can also embark on an adventure/roleplay game. This allows you to dive into a storytelling experience where you can make choices and explore fictional worlds. If that sounds exciting, just let me know and we can get started on your adventure.
Maybe some other day. Thank you.
You're welcome. Whenever you're ready for an adventure or more trivia fun, just let me know. Have a great day.
And there you have it. That was, like me playing a trivia game with my ally. The other game that we have on here is actually an adventure game that's slightly, like longer. It's been crafted by our in-house dungeon master Alijan, who has crafted like a beautiful story that you can go and embark on. It is a choose your own adventure kind of a game where at the end of each your plot point you are asked to make a choice, and depending on your choices you make, the story would progress. So if any of you have Ally out on your phone, go and you give both of these games a shot. With a trivia, it's basically an endless game. You can pick any topic, you can pick any level of like difficulty, and Ally will make up a trivia game for you on the spot. It's a great thing to have when you're in the commute, in the train, and you just need something like to fill your time. But this is just like a glimpse of the kind of capabilities Ally has, and hopefully as we you continue to grow, in addition to adding all the tools like a reading text and all of those features, we also want to introduce stuff like this that will make Ally a hope like more fun and wholesome AI assistant for all of you out there. So that's what we have in store for you now, but there's a lot more you're brewing in the labs of Envision. We launched some pretty big updates this month. One of them being you are able to read your text with Ally now very, very well and accurately. So if you simply ask Ally to scan this document or to scan something, as long as the word scan is in your instruction, it will go ahead and actually do an OCR, an optical character recognition of the text in front of you, and give you like a hallucination or your free like readout of exactly what's in front of you. We also introduced a way for people to sync their allies to their glasses. Any of you who have Envision glasses out there, you can now sync all of your allies with all the personalities, all the voices, and all the customization, and use that on your like glasses as well. And there's a lot more interesting stuff that's in the pipeline that you will be hearing from us soon. So yeah, just stay tuned on all the socials of Envision, and you will definitely hear a lot more exciting updates coming from our end. And with that, I would finally like to open the floor for the audience to come in and ask any sort of a question that you have. You have about 20 minutes ahead of us, and we'll do our best to answer as many of the questions as possible. So there are a few ways to ask a question. You can either raise your hand, and when you do that, we will sort of invite you onto the panel. So you can use the raise hand function in Zoom. And if we see a raised hand, we'll invite you on the panel, and you can come on and have your chance to ask a question either to us or to like Neeraj, who is the guest here. You can also ask a question by just using the Q&A feature in Zoom. So you can just leave a question, which we can then like read and answer when we are on the session. You can also just like drop it into the comments if that's easier for you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then just drop a comment in the chat there, and we are also keeping an eye on all the chat that is coming in.
Kartik, I had one quick plug I wanted to shout out. Our next webinar in June is actually back to its usual Thursday spot, and that'll be on June the 27th. We're actually at the same time, and we're looking at AI in the workplace, so innovations for inclusivity, and taking actually some of the topics that we discussed today a little deeper and further. So that's our June webinar.
Cool. And with that, let me invite a Jim who has had his hand raised for a while now. So, Jim, you can unmute yourself and ask us your question.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. So I've played the games and things with Ally, and I was wondering kind of what's next for us beta testers out there. What can we look forward to for the next update from Ally, as far as maybe screen sharing and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff that's in the pipeline, and it's all still in a very alpha state right now. So we are working pretty hard to stabilize a few things at the same time. So we cannot really announce any of those things yet because it's not really stable yet, and we don't know which one will be ready for like beta testing first. But if you're on our beta Slack community, we will definitely announce on there something as soon as we are able to. So we are putting a few things together. So expect something from us before the end of this week.
Perfect.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate
Yeah.
the question.
All right.
All right, and let me now bring on like Ryan on the panel. Hey, Ryan, you can unmute yourself and ask us your question.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we can.
Right, I got two questions. I'll be quick as I can. First one, I tried putting in the chat thing, but anyway, I was going to ask you how would you become a beta tester?
It's pretty easy to become beta tester of Ally. You just need to shoot us like an email to support@ally.me.
Yeah,
Our team will send you a link to a form. As soon as you fill out that form, we will then include you, and then we will reply to you with instructions on how to join the beta Slack community, but also how to install beta versions of our app.
yeah. I'm just thinking for the for the glasses in general. How?
Yeah, it's the same process for the glasses as well. So if you could
Okay,
just
good.
send an email to support@ally.me and fill out this very short form that we have, then we will we will share all the instructions
Yeah.
of how you can join. Yeah.
No problems, because I would like. I'm searching for work at the moment in the accessibility field, so.
Yeah, no, we
And-
can use all the help we can get. So
Yeah.
definitely appreciate any feedback you will have with us on that.
Yeah, and my second question is, I forgot my second question, but that was the main one. No worries.
No, okay. Well, we are still on here, so if you do want to come back at any
Yeah,
point,
will do. No
please
problem.
raise your hands again. No worries. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see more questions. We have a question in the comments here that's asking about events that we might be present in. So we recently wrapped up the city event in Frankfurt, and then I will be in a few events in US in the coming a month. We're going to be at the AWE, a conference that's happening in Los Angeles in June, and we are at the World Summit AI event that's happening in San Francisco on the 19th of June. So those are the two events that's up and coming that you'll be able to find us in. And yeah, we will keep announcing if there are other events that are happening. But yeah, if any of you happen to be in Los Angeles or San Francisco and you want to say hi, just drop me like a message. I would love to chat with you. if you're in town.
And Kartik, on that, just to remind people, we do have an events page on the let'senvision.com website. It's down in the footer, and we try and keep that up to date, which reminds me I need to add those events you just mentioned. But we also have an event in the Netherlands, Helpmiddelen Dag in Rotterdam. That's basically assistive tech and tool a day. And that's being held on June the 10th. And it's actually featuring Envision and a few other tech companies. And our distributor Sensitech is organizing that in Rotterdam. So again, if you go to the let'senvision.com/events, then you'll have an up to date. And certainly by the time I've added those other events we decided on today, then you can find out some information there too. Thanks.
Cool. I do see that Ryan has his hand up again, so I'm gonna bring Ryan back on. Hey Ryan, were you able to think of your second question?
I was just going to ask, are you guys attending the Birmingham event in July at all, or
Like which event, sorry?
Site Village in Birmingham?
No, I haven't heard of that one.
Oh, UK one. Yeah, no pros.
We
No,
might be, Ryan, but mainly through Sight and Sound. It depends if Priyanka, myself, or some of the team can be there as well.
Yeah, no pros.
Sight and Sound will be there for sure, of course, as their lead sponsor and everything else.
Yeah.
We'd love to meet you there. We'll definitely look into it and keep you updated on that one.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be going yet. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, okay, yeah.
cool. Thanks for that, Ryan. We have a question who's asking about can you tell me the Envision website? That is let'senvision.com. That's LETSENVISION, let'senvision.com. We also have a separate website for Ally, which is more specific to Ally and its feature, and then that's ally.me, so ALLY.me. And Ally is still pretty new. We're still trying our best to, like to get the word out. So if any of you have been using Ally and enjoying the experience with it, we would appreciate if you could spread the word amongst your group, let your friends know, let your colleagues know, because yeah, it's still pretty new and a lot of people are still not aware of it. So yeah, if you could do your bit and help us out with spreading awareness of it, that would be helpful.
For our stations on this New York City.
All right. More questions. Let's see. We have a question about which platforms Ally is available on. So Ally is currently available on iOS, Android, the web, and Envision glasses. So it's on all 4 of these platforms. For iOS and Android, you can simply just search for Ally on the App Store or the Play Store. Or if you want the links, if you go to the website ally.me, you will be able to find the link to the iOS and the Android app on our website. It's also available on the web. It's called web.ally.me. If you go on there, you will be able to also use Ally on the web as well. And it's also on Envision glasses. So if you have updated your Envision glasses to the latest version, which is currently 2.9.9, you will be able to use the latest version of Ally on those glasses. It's available on the home and the professional edition. So you will be able to use Ally and just have those conversations with Ally, your hands-free on Envision glasses. You can, and the cool thing about Ally is that when if you have like made an account within Ally, and if you are logging in with the same account on all of these different platforms, you will be able to take your Ally with you no matter which platform that you use it on. So if you are having a conversation with your Ally on your phone, and once you get to work, you want to continue the conversation on your computer, you can do that by like using Ally on these different locations, and you will actually have the exact same experience irrespective of the platform that you use it on. So that's one of the cool things that we're really you're focused on building with Ally here. I think with that, we would want to bring this webinar to a close. I'm just going to take a quick look at YouTube comments, but if no, I think we are all good there. So yeah, I think this has been a great webinar. So definitely want to thank all of you who showed up to have this conversation with us, and very excited for all the development that's happening under the hood. And I want to thank Aniraj for taking the time out and spending your time with us and sharing some of his experiences and stories with us on here. And Aniraj, do you want to plug in the end how can people you find out more about the Vista Center and the services that they offer?
Yeah. No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate how the work you all are doing to make our lives easier for the blind and low vision. If anybody's interested in Vista Center, we're located at www.vistacenter.org. And we also have an events page, Site Tech Global, SIGHT techglobal.com. And Envision has been there as well. And it's another platform to kind of see some of the products that are out there. So really appreciate everything you're doing, Karthik and Vanessa. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. And appreciate that always. And yeah, I do look forward to seeing you in a person soon. Until then, I do want to wish everybody a good week ahead, and we will see you on another webinar next month. So stay tuned for that, and we wish you all a good evening.
Bye bye. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye bye.